What's up, morons? This is the free edition of Moron Money. Every Friday, we come here on YouTube to kind of recap the week and talk about what's going on in the news. If you want bonus Moron Monies, if you got a couple extra every week, as well as the Blind Mike Project and all the other content we put behind the paywall, you can go to patreon.com/Blind Mike. There's a $5 tier and a $10 tier, but there may be maybe a little something new for the if that's too rich for your blood. So look out for that as well. But this is, of course, More on Money, where we don't give any financial advice. It's for entertainment purposes and to give you a springboard in doing your own research. So take what you learn here and go to the old Google machine or wherever you go to get your information and do it yourself. See what you like. See if you like what I say. And if you don't, come back, leave it in the comments. Let me know. Leave any comment you like. Hit the like button, subscribe, because that all does help the algorithm and it helps grow this channel, which I would love to do. So if you want to support More on Money and the Blind Mike Project, please do that. Now, I assume the people that have been with me for weeks, the true morons, are not panicking. However, the rest of the world does seem to be. So, except, I'll say this, the rest of the world seems to be panicking, except the hodlers and the people who have been into cryptocurrency for a long time. So, we're going to talk about the stock market. I'm going to give you guys a couple stocks I have not mentioned before. I'm going to give you updates on Aphria and Nano Dimension. And we're going to talk about Bitcoin, Ethereum, and some Cardano news as well. So, look forward to all of that and stay tuned with us. Skip around if you are only interested in one or two of those. But we will start, of course, with Bitcoin, as everyone's focus is there. Oh, the sky is falling. We're back under 50,000 for the first time in weeks, maybe even days. Bitcoin hit as low as $48,000 yesterday. This would be considered a pretty big correction, and that has people very nervous. Why did this happen? A lot of people point to Uncle Joe, our president and fearless leader, Joe Biden, talking about raising capital gains tax as high as 46%, because the government deserves half your money. We're equal partners, and it's nice of them to give you a little extra, an extra, 4 to 7% on that partnership. I think it's very nice of them. So your partner, wants their fair share, and that's terrific. And they feel they are owed half your money, and that has people scared, not just in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, but the stock market as well. Will this happen? I don't know. I don't think so. I personally hope not. I don't think the government deserves half your money. I think taxes will always be an issue, depending on who's in office, until there's a libertarian in there to wipe this illegal gain out. But I digress. That's not for this program. My point is, I don't believe that will happen. And if it does not mean you should throw away one of the fastest growing assets that people believe will not just compete with gold, but greatly surpass it. It doesn't make any sense for you to throw it away now, unless you are really that afraid of paying your taxes. And by the way, there are also other places you can live. I'm not saying get out of this country, but I'm saying, 46%, that's quite a healthy chunk. Or even 43, which was thrown out as well. But my point is that it's not just Uncle Joe that's scaring people from Bitcoin. It's people like Scott Menard. I was talking about yesterday, Scott Menard saying there's going to be a correction. We're going to go down to $20,000. Now, if you want to trade and play that game, by all means, be my guest. If that doesn't scare you, I've talked about the dangers of that many times, but if it doesn't scare you, if you think you're equipped for it, go for it. Like I said, I don't tell you what to do with your money. That is up to you. And I'm impressed that you have the confidence to do so. But what $20,000 means to me, it means that, hey, I can afford some more Bitcoin at the rate that I originally bought in at. I originally bought in at about 18,000. So if we go back there, to me, that's buying season. It doesn't really scare me because I believe in Bitcoin. When you buy in at something at an all-time high, you should be expecting and almost hoping for a correction. Because it means the market is literally correcting itself, which is often needed. If something just goes up and up and up, that could be very dangerous because then it's just, Dogecoin or one of these crazy things. Um, so you want the market to correct, but also that you can afford more. When I talk about dollar cost averaging, this is the time for dollar cost averaging. If you bought in Bitcoin at 60,000 and you're like, fuck, don't panic and lose your. That's how you lose your money. If you panic when Bitcoin goes too lower than what you bought it, that is how you lose your money. How you make money is dollar cost averaging, maybe buying a little more, and then your average buy-in is lower. And then by the time you get back up to 60,000, now you've made money at your original entry point. So I consider this buying season for Bitcoin because I don't believe any tax news or any Scott Menard FUD outweighs what we've been talking about for months with Venmo, PayPal, MasterCard, Visa, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, Guggenheim, Scott Menard, on and on and on. Rick Caruso, all these things, all the Tesla, these people accepting Bitcoin, putting Bitcoin on their platforms, Bitcoin on their balance sheet, banks acquiring Bitcoin or getting into offering Bitcoin. These are all much more encouraging signs than saying, hey, we're going to have to pay taxes on this. And by the way, make sure you know what you're doing with your taxes as well, because as of right now, that capital gains tax would not affect you until you cash out. So, if you have, let's say, one Bitcoin, even if it goes up to $5 million, you won't be taxed on that Bitcoin until you cash out. And that's as of right now. If it becomes, kind of the primary source of transactions, then of course that will change. And the news earlier in the week that affected the price was this fear that there'd be a crackdown, regulations on Bitcoin. Honestly, we should be hoping for regulations on Bitcoin because then that eliminates the constant news that there's going to be regulations on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin is what we think it will be here on Moron Money, then that means everyone will have Bitcoin at some point. Everyone will be using Bitcoin. Therefore, it has to be regulated. So the only reason that it's scary that there will be regulations is because there aren't right now. That shouldn't really affect the price. And when it does, again, that should be an indication maybe you should be buying because it means the people that don't understand Bitcoin are getting out. When you see the people that have hodled Bitcoin or that have held on to Bitcoin, and by the way, when I say understand Bitcoin, I don't mean they're smarter than the people that don't understand Bitcoin. I mean, they've learned what it is and they trust it. They may be very easily, maybe wrong for all I know. I may be wrong about Bitcoin. I've been wrong once or twice before in my days. So, the numbers would indicate that the whales and the hodlers are holding on to Bitcoin. The institutions are holding on to Bitcoin. They are not getting rid of their Bitcoin, which is an indication to me that you shouldn't either. But do your own research. See if the tax thing scares you enough. If old Uncle Joe is going to raise capital gains tax to 50%. Oh, it's medicine time. I forgot my medication. Another indication of who you're listening to, folks. My alarm just went off because I haven't taken my crazy pills yet. So, if you take financial advice from this guy, it's really on you. Now, a lot of news about Ethereum as well yesterday. Ethereum hits a brand spanking new all-time high and then dipped down with the rest of the crypto market. Why did Ethereum hit an all-time high? I don't really know because the only news about Ethereum is something we've been talking about here on Moron Money for weeks. This layer 2 may allow there to be a finite number of Bitcoin. They're going to start burning Bitcoin, which would essentially put a cap on it, which means Ethereum. They're going to put a cap on. They're going to start burning Ethereum. And once there's a cap on it, it will make it like Bitcoin in the sense that there is a scarcity to it. There is a limited number of Ethereum, which of course will affect the price. And if this layer 2 is able to correct both the gas fee problem with Ethereum that we've been talking about and the scarcity, I wouldn't call it an issue, but if it makes it a scarce asset, then that will greatly affect the price. 2,500, 2,600 will be peanuts if that happens to Ethereum. So again, this dip back down, it was 2,200 before I started recording here, may very well be good news for Ethereum, maybe a time to buy Ethereum. And the reason it may be time to buy Cardano as well. Cardano back under $1.10 for the first time in some time. However, on April 29th, we can look forward to a Cardano Ethiopia event. There is apparently some deal that Charles Hoskinson has come to with Ethiopia. We've been talking about this for a while as well. One of the things on Moron Money that we've been talking about, the morons have been talking about, and now they seem to be coming to fruition. And right at the time of a big correction, which is good news for people buying it. So Cardano, actually, a buddy of mine just bought into Cardano at like $1.30. Now it's at $1.09. He won't be too happy. We'll see if he has diamond hands. But so the reason I'm excited about Cardano this week is because April 29th, this Ethiopia event, we've been talking about Africa and how Charles Hoskinson really believes that their smart contracts on the Cardano platform will really help out Africa and their ability to, get loans and kind of make their financial system a hell of a lot easier than it is right now. So we don't know what this Ethiopian event is. However, Charles Hoskinson does believe that it will bring 5 million new users to the Cardano platform. That's very exciting. Now, speculate away. Look into what the speculation on what this is. But what I believe is that Ethiopia may be adopting Cardano or maybe entering some sort of partnership with ADA. So, and Charles Hoskinson, like I've said before, it comes across as a very arrogant guy. I think that's who you want as an industry leader. So, looking at Charles Hoskinson, looking at Cardano and that news, and see if that interests you. See if you may want to buy the dip before April 29th comes. And speaking of April 29th, now we move to the stock market. The stock market was affected yesterday as well, although futures would indicate by the time this is uploaded, you probably already know whether or not this is true. But there should be a bounce back today, according to futures in the stock market. So we will talk about some of the stocks that I've kept you abreast on. One of them being Aphria. On April 30th, the day after old Cardano Ethiopian news, then you've got Aphria's merger to look forward to. The Tilray side of the merger will be voting on April 30th. Aphria's holders passed with flying colors. Hopefully, Tilray will do the same. And Erwin Simon, CEO, that will be running the company post-merger, is all amped up. I like this guy. I've seen a lot of good things about this guy. I like his moxie. I like his gumption. I like his get up and go. And Erwin Simon says that the company, which will be Tilray if the merger happens, is ready to enter America and ready to enter Europe. Well, they're already in Europe, but legalization is happening fast and furious on both continents, North America and Europe. And Erwin Simon is ready to take over both with the Sweetwater Brewing acquisition that I've been talking about for a long time. That gives Tilray, which it will be then, entrance into America. And I believe Manitoba Harvest is, as of now, their kind of entrance into Europe. And Erwin Simon's talked about looking for more mergers and acquisitions to grow this company, which is important if they want to remain a leader. Right now, if the merger goes through, they are the biggest cannabis company on the planet in terms of sales. And it seems like Erwin Simon is determined to keep them there, which I find very exciting. A lot of the worry with cannabis companies is that the Canadian cannabis companies won't be able to get into America even when it's legalized. Aphria is at least doing their best to ensure that doesn't happen, to ensure that they do have the ability to enter into America. Also, the encouraging things that Sweetwater Brewing is now moving up to Canada as well. So that's beneficial for both sides, really. They expand the Sweetwater Brewing Company market as they're one of the leaders in the craft brewing industry. And that market expands while the cannabis market expands as well. So that's exciting news for Aphria, in my opinion. Even after the dip of people, very nervous about their quarterly earnings, they missed the mark on their latest quarterly earnings report. It doesn't scare Erwin Simon. It doesn't scare me. My personal opinion is buy the dip, but look into Aphria yourselves and see if you like it. Now, Nano Dimension. Encouraging news as well. Ticker NNDM. APHA, by the way, if I didn't say that, for Aphria. Nano Dimension, ticker NNDM. People have been wondering, what are they going to do with all this cash from their direct offerings? Oh, they take all this money from people. What the heck are they going to do with it? It's just sitting there. $1.5 billion. Well, yesterday they acquired Deep Cube, which is an AI company. And it's believed that that Deep Cube's algorithms and technology will help advance Nano Dimension's 3D printers. So it's very exciting. Deep Cube is the first company they acquire. Like I just mentioned with Aphria, if you want to grow your company, if you're in these kind of burgeoning markets, I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. Is that a word? Burgeoning? If you're in one of these burgeoning markets, and that's the kind of guy you're taking advice from. So this is not financial advice. You're an idiot if you take it, because I can't speak, as you can see. But my point is that if you're in one of these booming industries like 3D printing, a lot of people think the 3D printing market will take off, and Nano Dimension is a leader. If you want to remain a leader, then you keep acquiring and growing your company. And that seems to be what Nano Dimension is starting to do. I found that to be an encouraging sign as well. Citadime, which we mentioned before, made a deal with Genius Brands and Cartoon Channel. There's a couple, I believe it's the same thing. I don't know. I get a little lost with Citadime streaming. It seems like encouraging news, but then I haven't heard of half the titles they've acquired. So look at a CIDM if that's one you think you like. And then to close out, I told you I'd mentioned two stocks. One a little pricier than the other. One is a penny stock, and the other is a little more established, although they had a crazy boom over the last year or so. Stitchfix is a company that is involved in the e-commerce of the fashion industry. Basically, you can buy your products with Stitchfix, and then they send you what they think will work. You send back what you don't like, and through that, they essentially are able to determine your taste and your likes, and that goes into a whole nother equation that horrifies me and is, in my opinion, a scary thing for the future. But hey, that's where we're going with this e-commerce. So Stitch Fix, look into that, SFIX. So they're down over 50% from their 52-week high. That's not always an indication that you should buy. Sometimes it's an indication that the company's dead. So don't always leap head first when you see something like that. But the reason I like Stitch Fix is because I believe they're growing towards the future. Now, it is shaky right now because they're changing CEOs. So maybe that, maybe you don't totally know what direction the company's going. But I like what Stitch Fix brings to the table. So look into them, SFIX. And then a penny stock, if you guys want to look into it, is Uranium Energy. They are looking for clean energy and to be America's main uranium source as we try and fix the environment. So look into Uranium Energy as well, ticker UEC. And I believe that's it for this week. We'll get more in depth, and I have a couple other penny stocks for the Sunday show that we'll get a little more in depth on. But I like to throw you freebies a bone as well. So look into SFIX and UEC if you want to check those out, and leave in the comments what you think of them. If you think I'm off my rocker, or if you think my explanation was incoherent, I step it up behind the paywall. So go to patreon.com/blindmike, or just leave a comment. Tell me what you thought of the episode. Tell me if you like it. Tell a friend about it. Share it. Hit the old like button. Subscribe to the channel. All of that stuff helps the algorithm and helps us find more eyeballs on the Blind Mike YouTube. So I think that's it for this week. We're back on Sunday on patreon.com/blindmike if you want to check that out. If not, we will be back on Friday. We'll update you on some of the things we talked about today and whatever else happens in the news. Until then, keep making money.